How's it going, beautiful people? It's not even fair. It's not even fair. It's not fair. What's not fair? I'm going to tell you what's not fair, okay? I go into the studio and I got 50 new sheets of large paper that I ordered. Okay? And I've just been painting the hell out of them. Just one after another. Boom, 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 boom. And you know what's interesting? My mind wants to stop, right? My mind wants to be like, no, you gotta do a better job, measure it, and on and on and on and on. But my intuition is wiser. It's stronger, baby. It's stronger. My intuition knows what to do. So, what am I saying here? Look, guys, last night I was thinking about how my art studio could be a lot better if I just stop it with the overthinking. You know? If I just start releasing those breaks. I believe that every human being operates with brakes on. You operate with certain brakes. And you have a thermostat. You have a thermostat that indicates what amount of bliss or success you're willing to accept. This thermostat is really activated it's connected to your level of deservingness, but it's really your idea of yourself. It has to do more with the idea, your identity. Okay? This thermostat that we all have, every human being has it, is linked to your identity, to your self-identity. If you think that you deserve more, you will get more. If you think that you deserve less, you will get less. Your thermostat is your identity. So sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you, sometimes no matter how much you work, you don't seem to really go ahead. You know, no matter how much you work, you don't really seem to move, right? To move the needle. Why is that? Why does that happen to us? No matter how much you work, no matter how much you invest yourself in it, it just doesn't seem to catch on. You can't catch up. You ever thought about that? So last night I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, you think too much. You know, I was a little freaky, but it works for me. I was talking to myself. Right? I was like, you think too much, dude. You think too much. I was like, damn it, I do think too much. What can I do? So a while back I read this book called Release Your Brakes. And it's an exercise book. It's not really a book, but I never really did the exercises for more than a week, I think. And they're really meant it's really meant to remove the brakes, right? To remove the brakes, the clogs, those things that stop you. And it really has to do with your self-identity. That's really the main thing. Is that you have a self-identity that does not allow you to just plunge forward. For example, you might be thinking, I can't show that, or I'm not good enough, or I'm good if I really try, but if I don't really try, I'm not that good. So you're always questioning whether you're really trying or not. Or people can only see my very best work. That's one of the worst things artists can tell themselves. Bonjour, madame. That's one of the worst things that artists can tell themselves. I'm not good enough yet, but if I practice, I'll be better. Or the way I paint, The way I paint is I can only show the very best, and not everything I do is the very best. And this is perpetuated by other artists, by the way. A lot of people really have emotional problems, man. I think that's the thing about this world. Most people are carrying around this huge fucking bag of emotional, junk everywhere they go, and so we stop each other, right? We tell each other these stories that maybe you're not good enough, I'm not good enough. Wait till you get better at it, and on and on and on. Start waving to these beautiful people. Man, look, I need to do my hair. This is muy malo. I don't look macho, bad hombre. So I was thinking about this, I was thinking about, man, I really need to release my brakes. I really need to remove this BS, right? This BS that's really holding me back. And I wonder how many of you are being held back because of that. Maybe you have a dream, maybe you have an idea, maybe you want to open a studio, you want to open a gallery, or you want to go exhibit in a gallery. What's the shit that's holding you back? Because everybody has that fucking shit, everybody has it. And have you looked at it? Have you looked at it? Have you paid attention to it? And if you have, why is it there? And how? A better question is, how can I remove it? How can I go past it? How can I go past the junk that is holding me back? And for artists, it's a level of deservingness. I think for the most part, it's a level of deservingness, and it's all linked to an identity. You and I, we both have this identity that we need to be better. We need to be our best. And the thing is that when you compare your work to someone else, right? You always, it's like bird's eye view. You need a little bit of distance, or overthinking also does it. Overthinking, but overthinking will do it in a negative way. But you need a little bit of distance, and you'll notice that your work is really not. It's just unique, and it's like it's you. It's not really. How can I say this? You can't really compare it because it looks like shit compared to something else, depending on which way you go. If you paint abstract expressionism and then you compare your work to some classical painter, you're gonna feel like shit if you do the whole comparison thing. You're like, oh my god, but it's night and day. They're two completely different styles, and so we do these things to ourselves that are like, and it's not just the comparison thing, it's the comparison in your mind. It's I have to paint something, it has to be better, right? And there's nothing wrong with trying to be better. The problem is that it has to be better, so therefore it slows you down, and it almost it impacts you so much that all you're really doing is just thinking about how you can make the work better. That's really the problem. That's really the problem. I think that's the problem. As artists, we don't create. We arrange, right? We are arrangers. We arrange things. We don't create things. No artist creates anything, right? We arrange. You can call it a form of creation, but it's really not. You're just getting something from, it doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from somewhere. And so you're rearranging. Even if it's thoughts, ideas, whatever, right? You're arranging. Yeah, can I please have a venti? I gotta get a Starbucks. Can I get a venti pie place with steam half and half in classic?
get a venti pike with half and plastic.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yes. Banana nut bread, please.
You want that one done?
Yeah, and the cream is steamed, please, for the venti.
Or steamed cream.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else today?
That would be all.
All right. See you up here.
Thank you. They're trying to cheat me out of my cream, my steamed cream. I like it when it's steamed. It's just me. Ryan says, if the painting doesn't come out as what you see as your level, maybe we have your level. Yeah. Would you still post it for sale? I'm starting to question some work I've painted. So how is it fixed, my wise man? I love that. The first question, if the painting doesn't come out to your standards and you're questioning it, the reason why you're questioning it is that you're looking at it too much. Artists tend to do this a lot. They look at it too much. You paint something and you look at it and you look at it and you look at it. It's like looking at something over and over and questioning, because you start questioning. You're not looking at it from a wisdom point of view, which is non-judgmental, right? It's very difficult to do that. Only children and sages know how to do that. The rest of us, we suck at it. The rest of us mortals, we don't know how to look at things without judging them. It's very difficult. So we do this consistently, right? When you look at something, you're judging it. So the way to do it is, I was going to give you an example. It's like when you're thinking about a relationship, right? You think about a relationship. Usually what we do, we start thinking about all the shit we don't like, all the shit that went wrong, all the things. Usually that's where our mind goes to, because it goes to judgment, right? When you don't know someone, it's very difficult to judge. When something is new, it's extremely difficult to judge. There's no anchors. There's no anchors for judgment, right? You barely met someone, you shake their hand. You're not thinking, do I like him, do I not? You're really thinking, should I trust this person? That's really what you're thinking. But you don't have an opinion yet. You don't really have an opinion yet. Live with someone, I don't know, your parents, your spouses. Live with someone for about 20 years. Hi. 659. And then now you have anchors, right? You have anchors of judgment. You've created story, in other words. So this is what happens with artwork. You're looking at it. The more you look at it, the more anchors of judgment you create. If you're the creator. Thank you. Thank you so much. The more you look at it, because you're not looking at it, usually, you're not looking at it from a non-judgmental, which is just observation, right? You're not just observing, you're speculating. And when you start speculating, which is very mechanical, it's not even your fault. This is just the curse of the fucking human being. When you're speculating, you start thinking about, oh, I should fix this, I should fix that. Is that gray too gray, or should I make it less gray? And basically, you're rocking yourself like a little baby, right? You're trying to get to the right place. It's got to be just right. The problem with it's got to be just right. Here's the problem. If you come back to it a week later, a month later, or you come back to it a year later, or whatever, and you look at it, because time has gone by, so has your point of view. And you're going to look at it and you're going to say, oh my God, how the fuck did I ever paint this? Oh my God, who in their right mind would ever buy this? That's where we're going to go. That's where we're going to go to. We're going to go to the state of mind, which is you have a new point of view now. You have a different perspective. you are looking at, because now you're creating different works. Now maybe you were creating works with a lot of gray or whatever, and then you move on, and then now you're creating works with a lot of bright colors. Maybe you're using a lot of pink, and then you look at those gray paintings and you're like, what the hell was I going through? What was going through my mind? But that was perfect for its moment. See, what I'm trying to say here is that as an artist, you must absolutely accept everything you do. If you don't accept what you're doing, you're not accepting what sages and wise people call the present moment. You're not accepting life. So you're in constant struggle, fighting the now. You're fighting right now. You're constantly doing that. And so this is what happens to the artist. This is what happens. It's like a quest to trying to get good at it. And so what I'm learning when I started this video telling you how to remove my breaks, what I'm learning is, dude, don't try to get good at it. Stop it with that. You know, it's a trying to get good at it is a form of perfectionism. And Dali had already explained, it's not going to happen. Leave it alone, right? It's not going to stop chasing it. This idea of my style and my thing and the way it came out is just right. This idea, just leave it alone. It's not going to happen. You know, it's a mind fuck. You're not gonna get it. Stop chasing that. It's a rabbit that went down the hole. You know, the what is this cartoon? Alice in Wonderland. Don't go after it. Let it go. You know, let it go. Let it go. Let it go in the rabbit hole. Don't go in there. You're not gonna be able to come out of it. So rather than chasing this rabbit, this perfectionism, this idea, get frequent. You know, rather than chasing that, learn how to get frequent. And the way that you get frequent is by stop caring about the way you paint. You must stop caring about the way you paint. I know it sounds easier. It's easier said than done, but you must stop it. And one way to stop it is to get frequent. You just get frequent. Stop looking at the paintings. Don't look at them. Don't judge them. Move on to the next one. Stop looking at the drawings. Don't judge them. Some people are like, well, how am I going to learn? Then this gig's not for you then. You know? Then maybe, I don't know, go do something else. You cannot constantly try to learn. You cannot constantly try to learn. You will constantly grow, but you cannot constantly try to learn. Constantly trying to learn is trying to put more data into your system. Enough is fucking enough. Stop trying to put more data into your system. Get rid of data. Really what you need to do is get rid of data. There's so much clutter. And so many of us, we go to art school or whatever you do, those years, those formative years, or maybe you're self-taught, and you still had formative years, right? You still had, you went to museums, you sketched, you took notes, you read books, you bought DVDs, or you learned on YouTube, whatever you did, don't discount them. Those are still formative years. You maybe took a couple of years or 3 or 4 years, or maybe, which is really more on the true end for the artist, it never ends. And this idea that the formative years never end, that you must always try to learn, it's a bunch of BS, and it's meant to stop you. It is meant to stop you. You know? It is meant to stop you. And so rather than trying to be like, oh, I'm going to learn more, oh, I'm going to learn how to shade better, like, fuck that. Move that away and get frequent. Like, ride the horse and just get fast at it. Get frequent. When you start getting frequent, you will naturally get good, but the most important thing is that you are going to start growing as an artist. You know, you're going to start growing. It's not enough to get good. Getting good as an artist is a mirage. You can never reach it. It's a mirage. And because next year you're going to be better, and then next year you're going to be better. And when you look back, you're going to be like, oh, well, that was shit. Well, the work I did 5 years ago wasn't really good. Then why were you bitching about it if it wasn't good? You know, why were you crying? If the work 5 years ago wasn't good, why were you crying 5 years that, oh, it's not, I need to get it better. Oh my God. You know why? Because of what I'm talking about. You keep chasing this rabbit. You keep chasing this rabbit that you're never going to catch. So again, guys, rather than trying to be good at it, get frequent. Because what you do today, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, you're going to consider it your less than best work. You're going to be like, well, you know, it was during my pink phase. You know, you're going to be Picassoing the shit out of it. It was when I was doing more loose work. Now my work is more, it's rather than representational or figurative, now it's more abstract, and it's really, you know, blah, blah, blah. You're going to come up with some new bullshit, right? Because we all do. The artist is always convincing himself of new bullshit, right? But these are the stoppers. These are the stoppers. Yeah, the rabbit stops the fucking hole. It's not true. It's not true. We try to get good at it. You know, we always try to get good at it, and that is the problem. That is every artist's problem. I see it over and over. Every artist's problem is you're trying to get good at it, and even the good ones out there, like the famous ones, is what I'm talking about, right? I see that they did great work, and then they're like they feel sorry about their little asses, right? They feel bad. They're like, well, you know, that was my time. Why are you complaining about it? Work you did 3 years ago, you were complaining about it 3 years ago. Now you look back at it and you think it's not really great. Then why were you complaining about it? You know? Could it be possible that the work we do today, I want to introduce a new approach to painting. I want to call it that. I don't give a fuck about it. I want to introduce it. And I don't know who's going to follow me on this, but you really just have to not give a fuck about it. It's really the only way to liberate yourself. This doesn't mean that you don't care, that you won't use your skills. It's inevitable. You will use your skills. The thing is that you got to stop thinking. Most of us go into it and we're like, think. And all you're doing is pausing. You take 2 steps forward and you take 5 steps back because you're thinking constantly. So it doesn't let you move. You know, this is the curse of the artist, trying to get good. So I invite you to not try to get good. I'm probably the only artist saying this. Most artists are like, oh, well, this is how you get better. Fuck them. Don't get good at it. Get frequent. No one's talking about frequency. Look at Picasso. It's estimated. It's in the Guinness World Book of Records. He created over 147,000. Okay, 147,000 art pieces. It is estimated that he painted over 40,000 paintings alone. Some people say it's closer. It's not really that much. It was 20,000. Well, genius, try to paint 20,000. You know, go after the small number. See how easy that is. Painting 20,000 paintings. It's not easy. And the reason why we know them, Marc Chagall, Picasso, what's that other dude's name? Warhol. Anyone. Think of anyone. Modern, right? Don't go to like, well, Raphael didn't make 20,000. No, genius, because it was a different lifestyle. It's a whole different thing. But think of any modern and postmodern artist. They were frequent. They weren't good. They weren't trying to be good at it. They were trying to get frequent. And I've been screaming at this for years. And most artists are very lost when it comes to this. Look at Keith Haring. Frequent. Not good. Frequent. The frequency makes them great. So anyways, guys, I'll leave you with that. I gotta start painting something right now. Welcome to my studio, mi casa, su casa. Get frequent, guys. Get frequent. I've been working on this little piece right here. Working on some minimalist works. We'll see how that goes. I really like this one. Here, I'll show you what I'm doing. Oh, you guys can see. It's frequency that's going to really get you good as an artist. Think of any great artist today, guys. They're not good. Think of any great artist. You know, think of anyone. Picasso. I mentioned Picasso. Who's this other one? De Kooning. Jeff Koons. Jeff Koons gets so frequent. Anyone. I mean, any of the Banksy, any of the new guys. That's all they ever do. Get her down. All right, guys. Take care. I got to get back to this. I'm going to lay a couple more color on this, a couple more layers that I want to do. And, let's get it done. All right. Take care, guys. Adios.